So we were talking about backlog refinement, and we are saying that why it's not listed as an official event is because of how it happens. It can be irregular. It doesn't. It's not a standardized meeting, because this meeting we're talking about here now is a meeting between at least the product owner and the developer. Scrum Master may not may not even be there, just like you mentioned. And at times they may need the Scrum Master to help them organize it, whatever it is. So, but the main thing why it's not included as uh, part of the this is because for different teams it's quite different. Number one, even the time they do it, we know that we know that the sprint planning comes in the beginning of the sprint. Daily Scrum is every 24 hours, thereabout, something like that. Sprint review comes at the tail end of the meeting, and retrospective is the last meeting of the DC. But your backlog can come in between any of these for any team, and it may not even come at all in any of these. And for backlog refinement too can come more in it can come after daily Scrum every day, depending on how things are moving in your team. And again, what you're refining. So for some team that are deploying the scale agile, you find out that they could have mapped out like what we're doing in my organization. We have now we're going into what we call big room planning. Big room planning is when all the Scrum teams come together to plan, and they break down their work and see which team is depending on this one. Is my team depending on you for your team for anything, or this, so that we can place our work, so that those who are depending on us, we make sure that we do what we need to do to feed them, and vice versa, so that the dependency can be sorted. That's what. So therefore, we'll have item for like 6 sprints. What item? This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we do. In the next six sprints. So now, what will be refining is the sprint backlog. It's not going to be the product backlog itself. So the sprint backlog from in subsequent sprint. But again, it doesn't mean that doesn't mean that once you've set the sprint, doesn't mean that that's how everything must go into. You can go back to the product backlog if there's need be, but just setting it at the minimum that, okay, we've agreed that we are going to do component A. Maybe we need component A, B, C, D, E, F. Then we need A before B, C before, and then we have distributed it among teams. So team A, you will do component A before. So if we did component A in this sprint, team B can pick it up to do their own component C in the next sprint. So that's where refinement comes in like that, and help as the team goes on, they are refining their stuff. So if that is okay, we can move on to today's as we continue to explain what Scrum framework is all about, and we've seen the Scrum guide, 14-page what have you. That's so we're looking at we have seen the theory, adaptation, inspiration. We're looking at the values now. These are the values. So we have CFORC. So for examination purpose, people used to give it different acronyms. So they're just commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. So there are 5 values. So we have focus, we have openness, we have respect, commitment, and courage. So within the Scrum team, let's see, if this could be better, but I will not be able to switch between. So you need to be focused. We need to have open-minded. We need to be open-minded. We need to have respect for each other, and then we need to be committed and have courage to face whatever we are given. We don't need to be coward. So let's say this in breakdown. So for committed or commitment, so we need to be committed to self-manage. As a team, we need to be committed to self-manage. We said, okay, yeah. So our team, we don't want to keep relying, we don't want to become baby for now and remain baby. We need to be ready to build, to get bigger, and to do things without. We need to be a self-starter and delivering. Then we need to be committed to collaboration. We want to be committed to collaboration with everyone in making plans. So we don't want to work in silo. That's what Agile is breaking. Agile is breaking up working in silos. So as a team, we need to be committed to see that everybody we are working together, making plans together, and being transparent, carrying out the plans. We need to be committed to help each other. Like I said the other time, even though when somebody, if anybody has a fault, the team has a fault. There's no game blaming. There's no blaming game. If one person fails, the team fails. There's no, oh, it's you that did not do it. So that's why it's working towards cross-functionality as much as possible. Even as a Scrum Master, if you have some expertise in coding, in this thing, you can help your team. If the team too have expertise in, like on my team, there's a very good Scrum Master there, very, very good Scrum Master. My former team. But he's not there as a Scrum Master. He's there as a what's this? He's a software guy. But he's a very good. He used to be a Scrum Master for over 10 years. So when he's conversing and this, you will even know on this. But because I used to go to him that, oh, am I getting this right? And so we used to have conversations. So also, it's quite lucky. It's quite easy for others within the team to become a Scrum Master. But not always. It's quite a little bit difficult for Scrum Masters to get involved in what they are doing, because most of their work are kind of technical work. So what I'm just saying is that we commit to help each other. Then we are committed to do our best despite the unpredictability. That's one area the Scrum Master needs to watch out for. We need to help the team. That the team, they are seeing and they are doing their best. They're not hiding because on whatever situation that is on ground, maybe the organization is kind of relaxed, organization that they don't really monitor and see, and then they are just taking on that. They are taking the organization for a ride. Whatever it is, be committed to do your best, no matter what it is. Be open. If you cannot do it, fine. But once we can do it, let's push together to do the best. Then we are committed to continuously learning and improving. That is a core. That is one of the core Agile principles. Agile, listen, we are committed to continuous learning and improvement. If you say you've known it all, the day you say you've known it all, that's the day you start to diminish.
Yeah.
That's the day you start to decrease. On every day, people say, "Oh, we're all learning together. We are all learning this. So we keep going. We keep going. Keep going." Then we are committed to professionalism. Yeah, we are professional. We come to work to be professionals, and we keep it like that. We are professionals. Sorry about this. There's a group meeting. We keep it professional at work, in our communication, in our dressing, in our appearance, in our thought, in our this thing. We keep it professional. And then we are committed to high integrity. Integrity is also at the center of it all. Without integrity, everything crumbles. Integrity brings about transparency, brings about inspection, brings about adaptation. If you don't have integrity, you cannot be transparent. And then we are committed to technical excellence. So committed to technical excellence, yeah. So that's the core again. If we don't know the work and we're just patching up, it will definitely catch up with us.
Yes.
It will definitely boom around, fall in our face. And then we are committed to say no. That's a very important one. Do not say yes when you need to say no. So don't be a pusher of that team. Don't be that team that will continue to take everything from the organization. There will be a time you need to say no. No, we can't take this based on this. But the no should not just be, oh no, we can't, based on this, based on this, based on this, we cannot do this. Be able to push back, not just taking, oh, they say you do this, they say you do this, they say you do this. No. Committed to say no, adding technical depth and cutting corners. So maybe when the organization say, let's just do it like this. It's for you as a team. I say no. You can say no, and there are ways how you can go around it, go about it. Even when you say no this time around, you will have sent a message. You will know that, oh, that team, you don't joke around with them. They don't joke around. But when you say, when you take in everything, by the time you know it, your team becomes like the dirty bin. That they will take shit. So that's the thing. But when they know your standard, that no, you don't take it to them. So, and then even though it's coming from the eye up there, there's a way we can say no, and then be committed to that, not just taking everything, either good or bad, or the thing that will harm your team. And lastly, you committed to delivering value. You are committed to delivering value. So the other one is courage. You are courageous to be honest. Courage to be honest and transparent in everything. You say it as it is, not to hurt anyone, not to gain value, favor for yourself, but as it is. Transparent. We were talking about this before. You have courage to accept unpredictability. You don't say, oh, we don't know. That's what Agile is all about. Even when you don't know, we take it on. We're going to break it down. We're going to discover this. Let's discover together, because there's always that room for discovery.
Yeah.
Whenever we are planning, we plan discovery in our planning. There's what we call buffer. There's what we call that you, in the whole, if you can do 30 story points or start, you don't take the whole 30. It is allowed, or it is better to take 20 or 25 and have room for discovery, have room for uncertainty. And that's what Agile is all about. Courage to say no when necessary. So the same thing here. Courage to, so it cuts across the Mr. No. You have the courage to say no when it's necessary. Also be committed to say no when it's necessary. Courage to stand up for quality. It has to do with this one as well. You don't cut corners. You don't. So stand up for quality. No, this is what we are going to do. We are going to write the correct code. You stand up for it. Courage to speak up when there are people who cut quality. So this one again, yeah. It could be it could be difficult, but there will be a way you can push across. Uh, you can't do things like this because it will definitely, when you cut quality, there's no how it will catch up with you in the next in the next future. So why not try to, unless when you not feel guilt, unless you don't know, but you put in all the best, you put in everything that you think it's the right thing, but still it comes it comes short. But then you have that clear conscience that no, you did everything, but we know that this is, and then you've learned and you move ahead. Courage to face healthy conflict. Yeah, this happens in work often. Face healthy conflict. Do not use emotional blackmail. Do not use, let's face it, let's talk about it. What happened? Separate the individuals from the issue. The issue, the individual, they are two different people. They are two different things. No, let's come together to settle the issue. And this Scrum Master is always involved in this. I just had one recently in my team that I had to. Though I did not mediate to the ISDC, but the word I gave to the person is still coming back to me to say thank you. They had to change the manager. It became like a bully kind of something. But yeah, it became like that. And I spoke to him and I told him that, look, based on the experience I have, can we start coding like this? Can we do this? And yeah, it's worked out. They have taken it off the person and is quite happy. And everybody is happy. And did not cause much that, even though the other person was not seeing it as that, but it came like that. Courage to ask for help. Yes. Courage to ask for help. Don't sink. Don't sink alone. Don't sink. The courage to ask for help, even though when the help seems as if it's your fault or it's your this thing, still ask for help. Yeah. Still ask for help. So this is what Scrum is all about. This is what the team. Then courage to experiment. We said this. You have the courage to experiment.
Yeah.
That's how you know new things. If you don't experiment, you don't get to know new things. Then courage to speak up when the company is moving in the wrong direction. We said this as well in. Then courage to challenge the status quo and your own assumption. So you challenge the status quo and even your own assumption. You form an assumption that find out that this assumption is not really working. You need to challenge it. So we now have focus. Our focus should be on the product vision. No matter what we do, we should not take our eyes on what we're trying to build. No matter how friendly the environment is or hostile or what have you, our focus is that's what we are being paid anyway. That's why we are in that place. Or even if you are not being paid, but that's why you are there. That is a charity or this thing. This is the focus. This is why we are here. And we all come together. Everything that we are doing is central to that. Then focus on working on one product at a time. Yeah, this really is a very great point. Though it doesn't really happen in many teams. You find out that some developers, they'll tell you that shared resources. They will call people resource. They are working on this team. They're working on that team. At times, it does nothing most times, because you find out we are looking for you here, they are looking for you there. How do you divide yourself? But that's what we have in organization. But we cannot, even while we've allocated that it should be dedicated people for dedicated this thing, but the organization will not be able to, some, they just continue to share people. But it should be the same people doing the same thing over and over again, not jumping up and down. So because now maybe developer is using C sharp somewhere, and then you are not using C sharp. By the time you go there to work, by the time you come back again, you have to start from here. Or you can even make mistake of continuing to use what is using there. You're not find out that, oh, we're not using that here. So there's this in there. So we need to focus on one product at a time. People talk about multitasking, but there's other concept that say there's nothing like multitasking. Multitasking just means you are shifting focus. That you are shifting focus. There's nothing like multitasking. It can come out well for you at some point, maybe small time, but when you come to the real brain taxing one, that you find out that you will struggle. So they are just shifting focus. There's nothing like multitasking. You are doing this one, you are doing that, you are doing that one, you're doing that one. No. So it depends. Focus on
I agree. I agree. One of the things I struggle to do so much is doing one thing and giving my attention to another thing, sharing my attention. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, you
I
do
don't know how
not be
to
able to
carry
share
the
your attention.
because if I'm focused, I'm pursuing something, I give all to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I can do well in it and also do well in that area because I won't
Yes,
focus.
that's the thing. We just think that this thing, but by the time you reach the core, you find out that you will not be able to achieve that which you have achieved naturally if you are focused on that. Then focus on delivering reasonable products early and often. So the agile principle. It's also tied to this. So this is almost like this. Focus on getting frequent feedback. Yeah, we need feedback. This is why agile thrive. Feedback, constructive feedback that will help you to improve, that will help you to look at, okay, these are the things that we need to work on better on the next time. So we need to focus on those. Focus on optimizing the flow of value. So as a team, all of these are just saying the same thing about the product vision. We are focused on optimizing the value of workflow. So as we are working, we are focused on getting the best thing done. So, and simplicity, the act of maximizing work not done. So we need to keep it simple so that we can get the best value from what we are doing. Then focus on generating actionable item in each group discussion. It is said that any retro that does not give you actionable item is not a good retro. But when we get there, we'll talk about that. Focus on the simplest solution that works today. Today, right now. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Yesterday has gone. This is where we are now. Now people are shouting AI, AI, AI. And some people are saying, yeah. So before, and somebody said in the group that I'm today that before all this meeting that we are doing, we have to do it face to face.
Yeah.
There was a time there was no phone. If I want to this, I travel to the village, and the time phone came, and you not embrace it. You say you still want to live in that time that you need to travel. Then now we are talking about AI and stuff. So just embrace it. This is the solution now. Embrace it. Tomorrow, another problem will come that will bring something else that will evolve. So focus on the simplest solution that works now. So don't go and be bringing in some kind of heavy everything that will derail the team. And this most simplest thing that will get the best result, and you are gone. Focus on what is possible today, just the same thing. We don't need to, to bother ourselves with all the encumbrances. Try to break it down and focus on what will work. Focus on what we know today. I've been saying this from time. Empirism, we talk about empirism. What we know today, tomorrow we will know more. Tomorrow we will know more. Tomorrow we will know more. Then focus on making people awesome. That's the work of a Scrum Master. Focus on making people awesome. Focus on making people feel value. Focus on making people enjoying their work, and it's part of the principle too. Motivated individuals will bring a better result. Then going to openness, be open to try new ideas. So we said it about experimentation here as well. Be open to drop any practice, so you can keep on new idea, drop the old ones that are not working, or to drop any practice in the value stream that will cause waste. Be open about the technical depth in our product. Be open about anything, everything. We need to be open. You don't need to bottle in anything, because if you bottle it in, you are bottling in the whole team. You are bottling in our progress. Be open about incapability. I think we mentioned this over and over again. If you're not capable of doing something, don't just keep hiding it. When it's too late, say, shout out, I'm not able to do this. And then the team too, we do what? They will have respect when we get to respect. So the team too will have respect. They will respect you that, okay, you've opened up, but that doesn't mean that we now throw you under the bus. We look for how to mitigate, how to see that, okay, this incapability does not harm us. Together, be open to own our mistakes and failures. So, and this is where Scrum Master also comes in to help everyone to open up. Nobody is being shouted down on. Nobody is being, you made the mistake. Let's say, okay, this has been done. How can we move forward? Though these things are not easy to come by, so they're not easy to carry on in real time in this thing, because things do happen. But at the bottom of it all, you are seeing that we are pushing it. That no matter what has happened, because I've seen people that some cannot even be helped. One of our Scrum Masters that got trained now, she came to me and was like, there's this developer that they were going to sack the guy. That she has tried to see how to help him. But later they sacked the guy because he was not performing, and he was a contractor collecting $350 per day. So that one could not help. Be open about our progress towards the goal. So we should not cut corners. All this is just, this is where we had. Heaven will not fall if we do not do anything, but there has to be a good reason why we do not do something. We not say, I'm just sitting down there moping and we're looking. No, we couldn't do this because of this, because of that, and this. And then we now see how to mitigate, how to make those obstacles go. But we need to be open about them. Be open to adapt our plan and negotiate the scope or timeline. So we need to be open to adapt the new plan. And if you don't understand it, be open to say, this area does not seem right to me, I don't understand it. Then further explanation will be made, or further renegotiation. It's all about negotiation and renegotiation. Be open for difficult conversation for the greater good. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be rosy. It's not always going to be straightforward. But be open to discuss anything that will make the team greater, anything that will make the team better. Be open to receive feedback. That we've been saying that over and over again.
Yeah.
Open our hearts and be humble. That's just normal. Then respect. We should respect the group, the team decision, and not override it with potential power. This happens a lot. You see some developers, they've been so they've been there in the organization 30 years, 20 years. They are like one-man army. If the team makes this thing, they can override it, but it's not good. It is not good. Respect it. Once the team we have agreed on something, let everybody abide by it and carry through.
With agreement.
Yes. Respect those who are honest and transparent. So again, respect everybody. So it's not even those who are not all honest and listen, still give them their level of respect, hoping that they will become honest at some point and transparent. Help them to get to that level. Respect and celebrate failure and success. So, of course, our failure today can be a stepping stone onto our success tomorrow. What we term as failure can be discovery of something else. Just the way as in Newton and Co. keep failing at something, and while they're failing, they're also they're discovering something, but they've not been able to that thing which they want to do. They've not really attained it, but other things are coming up. So, and then we respect diversity. This is a very big one. Diversity. We have black, we have green, we have white, we have blue, we have women, we have thank God Donald Trump has now reversed it to female and male. We have all sorts of things. Respect everyone, no matter how they come across. Just give them their respect. Just give them their thing. Ask them how should you want to be addressed. What is your so some people thumbs up for them is a no. Some organization, some individual, you don't call them Mr. You just call them by first name. So normally people when they first meet you, they ask you, how do you want me to address you? And mispronouncing some people's name can be trouble, especially in this UK. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't care. I just do, but mispronouncing some people's name, they will take offense. So you should different. Then respect different people's opinion. Yeah, respect their own opinion, even though it doesn't count. Oh, we respect your opinion, but let's do it like this. Let's see, or what you have shared. Respect people's opinions. See as respecting their opinion. Don't just when they just finish speaking, you just discard next person. No, and so somebody else has spoken. I'll say, we'll come back to that which you have said. Then hey, let's just take from other people. See that you are respecting everybody's opinion, and and we are taking the best. Respect each other's experience and background. Yeah. So like I said again, like I said the other time, you see some people they've been long in the organization, their own vote carries weight. It should not be. Everybody should have equal vote, no matter what it is. Even though the junior guy is just joining or the senior guy is just joining, everybody should have equal vote, and while we get the best decision. Respect the challenge that others are facing. Yeah, that's if they share with you. Respect the challenge, and then you accommodate them as much as possible. Respect others people's need to be human at work. Kind of you receive various foreign things. Just have to look and say, okay, but if it's affecting the work, that's when issues are. If because they're trying to respect kind of this, but it's affecting the work, then there needs to be other conversation. And we now come back here, be open to take conversations. Then respect others' learning speed and learning method as well. So there are many things these are not even exhaustive, but the bottom line is that we need to be committed, we need to have courage, we need to be focused and open-minded and respect the work we are doing, respect people on the work, respect the process. Everything is respect that at certain time people will need their own space. So all these blah 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 things just just there. So we talk about artifacts. So
Yeah.
we just want to explain it again in this thing. So artifacts, like you said, are our work that we cherish, our not maybe not work, what we produce that
Product.
the product that we are proud of, that we can place a value on. And we've said that the artifact in Scrum is product backlog, sprint backlog, and increment. In some quarter, you can see they can add more. They can add more. So I've seen up to 5 and this thing. However, each of these artifacts needs a commitment for this to evolve, for this to be the commitment is the product backlog, is product goal. For product backlog, it is the product goal. So it is the product goal that informs the product backlog. If you are going to if you are going to develop a car, if you are going to develop a car, you will not find in your product backlog items that are meant to develop plane. You will find the ones that are meant to develop a car, or else you are working out of scope. So that is the commitment for product backlog. The commitment for sprint backlog is the sprint goal. Is the sprint goal. So in this sprint, we are trying to produce the door of the car. You will not see us put items that relates to developing the golf compartment, be the shield in the sprint goal, in the sprint backlog. And then for increment is the definition of done. It's our DOD, our definition of done. So for this now, for example, this is a red brick. This is a red brick, and we said this brick must have this cup, it must have this cup, it must have this outer part, it must have this outer part for it to fit into this. That's our definition of increment. For that increment, this is what we're trying to build. But for it, you should have this color and all these parts so that it can fit in. So that's the definition of done. We'll be seeing more about that. So we've talked about the backlog, the product backlog, the sprint backlog is composed of the sprint goal. That's the why. So the sprint goal is the why. Then the set of product backlog items selected for the sprint is the what. So in the sprint goal, in the sprint backlog, so this is the product backlog. This is the sprint backlog. So this sprint backlog contains the why. Why are we running this sprint? So what are these? What are we working on in this sprint? And then how are we going to deliver what is it that we have bring? So from here, we bring elements here. So if these are the items, you can see this kind of drawings at times. Then we have some of these brought in here. Then this will contain the why. So the why will be discussed at our sprint planning. We discuss the why. The product goal, the sprint goal is technically brought by the product owner and discussed by the product team, by the team. And we now agree. So by the time we now agree, the developers will now pull their work item. They'll pull their work item. So based on this product sprint goal, these are the words we know we need to work on to get to this sprint goal. And then the how in most cases can be silent. So we know how we're going to do it. Well, we are going to work with Java. We are going to. They may not need to write it down that this is what we're going to. They already know that okay, we are working with Java. We are working with Python. We are working with AMA. to get it done. Then this is just a summary of the whole process, the Scrum process, where we have the vision. Maybe Mr. A is a visionaire. He comes to us as the office to share with the stakeholders. Then they give it to the product owner. Look, Mr. A wants to build this. You assume the ownership. Then it comes to the team with the help of the Scrum Master and the developer. They will look at it, and then they will build a product backlog. With product backlog, we go into sprint. We do our 24-hour meeting, daily Scrum. The people call it daily stand-up, daily Scrum. So, and after that, we bring about a potentially releasable increment, and then we do a review where the product owner typically showcases and the Scrum team showcase what they have built. Then thereafter we go into retro. I don't know why they not put retro here. I think I want to change this slide. So that's how the cycle just go. So that ends what we'll have the first part of it. So is there any question?
It's interesting. I've read most of those, but as we are giving explanation to it, I begin to have a clearer view of what it's all about. Then when we mentioned the values, well, I don't know. So those particular values, for each of the values, there are about 10 of them. A value for the, committed to this, committed to that, committed to that. Some of those things. Is it something that one is going to, for instance, going for an interview? Is it what you expect to, asking you what are you committed to?
No, I will not ask you what are you committed. I just brought those ones out by myself.
Okay.
You can be committed to many things, but ultimately, the Scrum team, they're committed to delivering value. They are committed to working with each other. So it's just how you're able to explain it.
Okay.
Yeah, how you're able to explain it. That's what it is. There's no this that you have to read it like that. No.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive.
So we are looking at the Scrum team itself now. The Scrum team, we were talking about Scrum, what is it then? The Scrum team, what we're going to talk about now. And then we said about the team is made up of the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the developer. We are going to start with the product owner, and we're going to see what they do on the team. So product owner, who has also been described as a value optimizer. He optimizes the value, meaning that what we're producing is one that we make sure that we focus, not make sure, as in bring about every good way to make sure that the product comes out to be what was intended. So in doing this, is accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the Scrum team. The product owner is also accountable for effective product backlog management, which we have been talking about since, which include developing and explicitly communicating the product goal. So he assumes ownership of the product goal and is able to explicitly explain it to the team so that they can work on it. Then he also, with the help of the Scrum Master, creates and clearly communicate the product item to them. And look, this is yam. For example, going back to our panel yam.
Yeah.
Say this is white yam. White yam, why we're using white yam is because of this, because of that. Because when you pound it, it's just, we're not going to use yellow yam, or we're not going to use water yam for this purpose. So he explained it to them. Then after that, he or she orders the product backlog item to say, okay, so we said we're going to cook ogbono soup. So these are the ingredients that we need for ogbono, or we want to build the website. This is what we need to build first. We want to build the landing page. To build the landing page, we will need this, we will need it, we need that. You will not prioritize. And then he ensures that the product backlog is transparent, visible, and understood. We don't want to have technical jargon, but all of this, he or she doesn't do it all by himself. He has input from the team members, from the Scrum Master, because even the product item may not be able to write them. The developers come in to help, but at the end of the day, he has to say that, yeah, everybody understands it. Please 1 minute. Please.
Yeah, go on, please. Let's see. It's my that's something.
So on the team, anyone on the team can populate the product backlog. However, the product owner remains accountable for the product backlog. So the product backlog, anybody can put in information there. And by the time we start to use Jira and everything, you see how all this comes in. But at the end of the day, no matter who populates it, who does everything, the product owner takes responsibility. It is he or she's responsibility to see that the backlog is populated the way he or she wants. And if it's not done like that, he or she has this thing to fine-tune it. The product owner is one person, not a community. Sorry, not a committee. So, like I said, it's one product owner per team, per team, yeah. No, not per team, per product.
So there's something like a junior product owner.
No, nothing like that. So it's one product owner per product. So if for example now we have many teams on the product, so you can have many teams working for that on that one product, but it's still going to be a one product owner. Anyone wanting to be product owner, anyone wanting to change the product backlog item, priority must address the product owner. So yes, all these are just repetition. Anyone wanting to change the priority must go through the product owner. You don't even need to go through the product owner. Tell the product owner, and then the product owner communicates the priority. You don't need to change it. Or maybe the product owner is not around and what have you, but if it's around, just from what we gather, this has become the priority now. Then you will say, okay, why? And then ultimately change it. For the product owner to succeed, the entire organization must respect, we talk about respect, his or her decision. The product owner's decisions are visible in the content and ordering of the product backlog. So the product owner decision and expertise and knowledge is visible in how you see the product backlog. If you, as a person that knows a little bit or more about how we're building things, and you start to see some things in the product backlog, you know that this product owner, maybe we are building door, and he's talking about putting items that are not for the doors. So ultimately, even when he or she prioritizes the product backlog, it is the developers that will tell you this is what they can do, this is what they can do, this is what they can do in connection with the product owner. So he or she does not just push items on them. So that's who the product owner is. And in summary, I set the overall vision for the product. I coordinate with Scrum Master. So you find out that This guy is always there. I manage and prioritize product backlog. I convey the interest of the customer and business to the team. Then we're going to the developers now. So
Let me ask
developer,
question.
yes, please.
Well, now, if in a project that we have only one product manager, and then the work is going on, what happens when the project owner, sorry, not project manager, project owner, what happened to when he goes on let's say go on vacation? So what will happen to do? Does it mean that, or can he delegate it to someone else?
So there's a product owner, and then he goes on vacation. Yeah, he can delegate. By that time, we will have put some things in
Order.
place.
Yeah.
You know how it doesn't mean that he has to be there all the time and doing stuff. So he or she can delegate as well to say, okay, I've been able to prioritize this for the next thing. And if there is need be that while he's gone, another product owner comes in. So that can happen. So developers are the professionals in Scrum team that are committed to creating any aspect of the usable increment each sprint. So they are the one that are committed to running the code, building the car, putting the parts together, running up and down to see that in every sprint we have something to show. The developers are always accountable for what? One, creating plan for the sprint. And then they are also accountable for the sprint backlog. While the product owner is for the product backlog, the developers they are the master of the sprint backlog. Hope you are getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are accountable for instilling quality by adhering to the definition of done. So it's their duty to make sure that what they are building has the quality as we have detected by our definition of done. We have said it must be 2 centimeters long, it must be 2 centimeters thick, it must be 3 inches tall, it should be this, it should be that. They will be the one to see that the definition of done is being adhered to. And then they are adapting their plan each day towards the sprint goal. So when do they at what meeting is that?
Say it again.
Eh? At what
Yeah.
meeting do the developers adapt their plans each day? At what meeting do they adapt their plan each day?
Yeah, each day it's a stand up.
Eh?
They stand up.
The daily stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the daily stand up, they adapt their plan each day during the daily stand up. Then they hold each other accountable as professionals. Said this over and over again. You see, all these things are just interwoven, coming, they are kind of repeated. So they hold each other as accountable professionals. Let's see some of their functions. So they are self-organizing, or they move towards self-organization, even if they are not. No one tells them how to build to turn product backlog into increment. They are given that autonomy. No one tells them, do this, no micromanaging, no this. They are given that trust that, oh, we trust you that you have the expertise, you have your this thing, please go ahead, build it. And then they are cross-functional, as all the skills as a team need necessary to create a product increment. This cross-functionality, I've typically seen it on book. Yeah. It doesn't really happen out there in most cases. You just have to keep rolling by. There are many teams that once everybody do their work, but they want to go towards cross-functionality whereby everybody helps each other to make sure that we're getting ahead. Scrum recognizes no title for team members, regardless of the work being performed by each. So during the developers, there's no senior developer, lead developer, but that is on book. Please, when you get into your organization, please recognize their titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, even in my organization now, we have the lead developer, we have lead whatever. There's just, but not that the title will now reflect and everybody they are just working together at the same power, but they're still title. It's not like the hierarchy that okay, if lead developer does not talk, nobody can talk. No. Scrum recognizes no sub team. No, we said about developers being called developer team before.
Yeah.
Or development team. So there's no sub team in Scrum team. It's just one team. No team between the team. Individuals, team members may have specialized skills and area of focus, but accountability belongs to the whole team
As a whole.
as a whole, to the team as a whole. So it's no matter of but you are the one that did the front part. I only did the back. No, if the front part is getting wrong, everybody assume, oh, let's go and get it done. So there's no one person in a team. Everyone moves together. So here's just a summary of what the developer is. I create teams that help us fulfill our product goal. I participate in all the Scrum ceremonies we hold. I had details to borrow. I told you so that everybody can populate the product backlog. Then I learned from the Scrum Master how to improve the way we work. So you see the Scrum Master is at the center of it again. This is developer summary. And now the Scrum Master,
Baba.
the Scrum Master is seen as the team optimizer, product owner, value optimizer, Scrum Master, team optimizer. So is accountable for establishing Scrum practice as defined in the Scrum Guide. So Scrum Master is accountable for establishing Scrum practices to the best practice, let's say best practice, or as enshrined in the Scrum Guide, which is our go-to, but we are talking about Scrum practices. He or she serves the organization, the product owner, the Scrum team, and the developers again.
Wow.
I start this because questions have been asked that what's the difference between the Scrum team and the developer. So maybe I just say that here. So what is this difference between the Scrum team and the developers?
The developer, there are three arms of Scrum teams, three makeups: the project owner, the Scrum Master, and the rest of the developers. So developer is just out of the three groups, just one part of the Scrum
Exactly.
teams, if I split them.
So we'll talk about how he or she serves them. Let's go. So Scrum Master serves the organization by what? This is how the Scrum Master serves the organization by leading, training, and coaching the organization in the Scrum adoption. So like my organization now, we have Scrum training every 2 weeks, where the Scrum team where they teach about Jira, they teach about this, they teach about that. So you are also involved in that. If you are the only one in the organization, so the sole responsibility falls on you. He or she also helps in planning and advising Scrum implementation within the organization. So this is coaching and this, and then he also helps in okay, this is what we can do, this is what is it, and money and many more. Then he also helps individuals. So that's the organization as a whole. But when individuals don't understand what the Scrum entails, helping employers and stakeholders understand and enact an empirical approach in their interaction with the Scrum team. He also helps individuals. So you can have the stakeholders, you can have an employee, because not all these teams in organization are adopting Scrum. Scrum does not work for every thing. So for those who Scrum does not work for, the Scrum Master now comes in between to say, okay, in in relation to this guy, this how it is, this how it is. And then E causes the removal of barriers between stakeholders and Scrum team and within the team. So this is one of the essentials of Scrum Master. Before, it used to be that the Scrum Master removes impediment. But now, they've gone beyond to say it doesn't remove the impediment. It doesn't run around to get it, but it causes the removal. And what does that mean? He enables the removal. He empowers the Scrum team to be able to remove their impediments. And if it's not resolved, he now steps in.
I'm just wondering how that will be done. Because sometimes you see that the impediment, as it may be a personal thing, or because I know there are some things that happen at home or that will prevent you to work effectively as a developer. So if the stakeholder, if the strong master, he sees that the person is displaying that there is a problem as the impediment, is it something that you could discuss on the personal ground, something like that?
So I'm trying to get around what you're saying. So if the person is impediment in himself, is that what you're saying?
I've noticed that most of the problems we have at work, most of them are generated from home. Some people come with their mindset or a problem at home. Some people suffer divorce, that kind of thing. I know one of our colleagues suffered divorce. His life is just something else. So if it happens, is it also among the thing, because it's an impediment, is it among the thing the strong matter is expected to talk to him or to
So
say, oh, this is a personal thing?
anything that can hinder the progress of the work, yeah, the Scrum Master is allowed to talk to that. So because this guy I was talking about, I noticed that when we have meeting, suddenly became very quiet. And I said, no, I'll reach out to him and I'll message him. Oh, Nick, good afternoon. How are you? Find out that in 2 meetings now, you've not been yourself. I know you to be very, and the first of all, thanked me for even noticing that I'm a good Scrum Master. Then we now got talking. He showed me all the things that have been happening and what have you. Feeling that look, she may not come across, she may not know it as this person as this, but this is how we do. So in that case, you need to now look for the root cause. If the person come to work with the baggage from home, you need to tell the person that look, it's either you go to settle the issue at home and take some time off, or if you come to work, try to come with this and you try as much as possible. You are not an expert in every this in married affairs and this thing. You can tell the person to sort some help somewhere. The bottom thing is that is it now affecting the team work? If it's affecting the team work, that's when now look. We've discussed this over and over again, but we consider it's affecting the team performance. So there's something we need to do about it. So what do you think we can do? You can push back the question to him and listen. And then from there you carry on. So definitely there must be a way around it.
You know why I asked you this question? Why I asked you this question? Because it's something that at workplace, they don't usually discuss the personal, private life and all those things. But most times, those private lives have a way it's knock back, at work, what you're doing. So
yeah, of
some
course,
people,
you cannot be discussing private life openly and this thing. Depends on how your level of interaction with the person. So if the private life is causing the work not to flow, either you discuss it or not, you must do something about it. You feel like that, oh, he's saying no, oh, not here, everything is fine, everything is fine. Oh, fine, everything is fine, but the work you're supposed to do, you're not doing it. And we ask again, everything is fine, everything is fine. Oh, very soon you start to get query, you start to get this, and then you eventually you go. But if the person opens up and says, oh, this, hey, you can say, oh, can you go to the therapy? Have you tried this? You suggest different ways. Have you tried it? while you're doing that, can we get somebody else to do your work? So every situation is not the same
Yeah.
approach. So
Yeah.
you look for what's going to work.
So what I'm also envisaging is that a Scrum Master is expected to also be exposed, be knowledgeable about other circumstances that maybe looks, the other things that may impact the job, which is somehow personal. Should find a way to what to do or what to tell them. So one also needs to have a training on how to keep this interpersonal relationship, something like that.
Yes, the Scrum Master usually at the mid-level of leadership, mid-level of work. So you need at least to have that emotional balance, emotional intelligence to be
Yeah,
able
yeah.
to mitigate some of these things. So yes,
Okay.
and they come in different form. So how the Scrum Master serve the product owner? So he or she help the product owner to find techniques for effective product goal definition and product backlog refinement. So again, the Scrum Master helps the product owner to look for different various techniques, effect, way to, excuse me, effective ways on how the product backlog can be managed. Can use Moscow, can use Kano, ways of managing the product backlog, whatever works for the team. You can use weighted aggregate, or just what is happening, what the organization want. We want to build the website. Can you start with the landing page? So everything that has to do with the landing page, let's make them priority, and then let's start to see. So you help the Scrum Master, the pro owner, help the Scrum team understand the need for clear, concise product goal backlog item. So we are helping the product owner by helping the team to understand the product goal and the product backlog item, because that will make the work easier for the product owner. It also establishes empirical product planning for complex environment. All these are basic grammar. Just helping the product owner.
Experience.
Then facilitate stakeholder collaboration as needed. So maybe the product owner needs to meet the stakeholders, needs to meet outside people. You can help to facilitate that so that work carry on. Then to the developers, the Scrum Master coaches them in self-management and cross-functionality and self-organization. So we have three things there: self-management, cross-functionality, and self-organization. But you can only coach them. You cannot make them to do if they don't have the required skills. You tell them that, oh, we're building this product. That doesn't mean that once you do your hands off and this thing, you can also help and see how we go. And then when you need something, you need to try it to see how you can get it before coming to me or this thing, so that you're self organized. Your work does not stop. You're helping the team stay focused on creating high value increment that meets the vision of growth. So you're helping them by removing impediment or by making sure that they don't have interference. So which is just the second one again, causes more of an impediment to the team's progress. And then you are showing that all Scrum events take place are positive, they are productive, and kept within time box. So meetings don't drag on, and developers
Yeah.
will not be able to have time to do their main work. And then the meetings are all productive at all time. They are productive, they are positive. You don't want infighting and what have you. And so that's just what the Scrum Master does. And then the Scrum Master also serve himself. He or she serve himself. First of all, you need to make sure that you're on top of it. You need to make sure that you get the necessary skills, and you need to make sure that you are staying healthy. So many things like that. So the Scrum Master, I help improve the ways of working. I manage anything, conflict, struggle, or this. You don't manage. You don't manage the conflicts. You just what other word? I support team. You support.
Or
I empower
assist.
or yeah. I empower the team to be self-managed. I I sometimes I facilitate Scrum ceremonies like stand-up retros and everything. So it's for you to facilitate, but you can delegate to say, okay, can somebody do this? This which is often good to rotate it. Okay. The only one you don't do is the daily Scrum, because the daily Scrum is a meeting for the developers. But you
Oh.
just and is meeting for the developer. No product owner, no Scrum Master. But that's what the book says. But you can never go to any organization where you don't see everybody in the this thing. So though everywhere I've worked, everybody comes to the daily Scrum. So, but it's
Because I,
for
I was thinking that it is a Scrum Master that they are going to that will organize it and say, oh, what have you? You just say
no.
your own.
You don't. Yeah, you're not there. They're not reporting to. They're not reporting to you. They're having a conversation among themselves to see
Okay.
how far they've
Oh,
gone. They're having a conversation among themselves to see how far they've gone in trying to get in achieving this the sprint goal. You are just there to make sure that the meeting held and the meeting is within time box. And then maybe by the time you are there, you'll be picking up some things that you want to address. But as I've said, everywhere, Scrum Master and Pro Owner, they are there. And even some other people say at some time. So Scrum events now. So we have come to the Scrum event. So we have 5, as we said earlier on. There's no this thing here. There's no backlog
backlog
refinement here.
requirement, yeah.
So we have the sprint, we have the sprint planning, we have daily scrum, we have sprint review, then we have retrospective. So the sprint has been put as an event just in this last edition. Before it wasn't put as an event. So the sprint. Okay, that slide. I don't know why this slide is coming. Okay, events. Okay, maybe just summarizing. Events are used in Scrum to create regularity and to minimize the need for meetings not defined in Scrum, so that we don't keep having meeting. All events are either time box or have a duration, have a time. So it's not all the meetings that are it's not all the meetings that are time box, because it's not all the events that are time box, but all the meetings are time box. So we have one that is not time box, which is its scrum, which is the sprint length. The sprint length is 2 weeks. You, I'm sure you know the meaning of time box.
Yeah, that but they have time frame.
And no, it's not time. Time box means we can have this meeting up to 15 minutes. So time box, you can stop at 10 minutes. If maybe your team, you're always 5, and everybody has we are satisfied that in the next when we started the meeting, we only use 7 minutes. You cannot just be looking at the meeting and then everybody, you just have to say, okay, thank God we finished early today. We are finished. Let us go. That means we've gained back 8 minutes. That is time box. But fixed duration, either you finish all your work before the 2 weeks of your sprint is still your 2 weeks. Do you understand?
Okay.
Once a sprint begins, its duration is fixed. Okay, I was even talking about that. The duration is fixed and cannot be shortened or lengthened. So we have the 2 weeks. The remaining event may end may end whenever the purpose of the event is achieved. That's what we call time box. Ensuring that an appropriate amount of time is spent without allowing waste in the process. Other than the sprint itself, which is a container, each event is a formal opportunity to inspect and adapt something. So all the event is an avenue for us to inspect and adapt. This event are specifically designed to enable critical transparency and inspection. Now, here's a caveat. Failure to include any of these events result in reduced transparency, and it is a lost opportunity to inspect and adapt. So let's look at so we have the sprint now. So the sprint is the overall. So the sprint in cases can be 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and a maximum of 4 weeks. So the sprint can be 1 week. So every 1 week we do the circle. So it is the heartbeat of Scrum. It is the container for all the other events. They are fixed time. They are fixed length. Let me take that again. They are fixed length events of 1 month or less to create consistency. So it can be 1 month, which is 4 weeks, can be 3 weeks, can be 2, can be 1. A new sprint starts immediately after the conclusion of the previous one. No time to waste. No time in between. So if one finish on Monday, the other one starts on Tuesday. If one finish on Friday, the other one starts on Monday.
So when is the retrospect? The retrospect.
Retrospective is within the sprint.
Within the sprint.
Yeah. So the retrospective is the last meeting of the sprint.
Yeah.
So it's still considered that you are still in your sprint where you are doing your retrospective.
Yeah.
So the sprint, no changes are made that will endanger the sprint goal during the sprint. You know, the sprint is about the sprint backlog. So no changes are made that will endanger. If our sprint goal is to create front page, no changes are made. You cannot now bring in item that we need us to create back page. That means you are changing our sprint goal. The only thing that can happen then is to cancel the sprint, but we'll be talking much about that. Quality goals do not decrease. Quality goals do not decrease, and the quality of our sprint goal do not decrease. So we are focused on achieving that sprint goal. Scope may be clarified and renegotiated between the product owner and developer as more is learned, but does not change the sprint goal. Maybe you were trying to use blue for the color before, but you find out that light blue will be better. So you can I can add it. It's still considered to be within scope.
Okay.
So that's for the sprint. Then we now have the sprint planning. So the sprint planning, the work to be performed in the sprint is planned at the sprint planning. So the sprint planning is where we come at we talked about the why, the what, and the how before. The why is the sprint goal. The what is what can be achieved or what can be delivered in the increment resulting from the upcoming sprint. Then the how is how we're going to do it. How simply means are we going to use Java? Are we going to use this? Who will do this and that? So that's just the how. The input to this meeting is what? Our product backlog, the latest product increment, projected capacity of the team, and the past performance of the team. Let me explain. So to go into our sprint goal, we need our product backlog to have been refined. Then we need knowledge, what we have done before, to see that okay, maybe we can learn from it, to see this. Then we need the capacity of the team. So we need to know who is
What they can do.
is available, so that we know what we are going to put into the sprint, what we are going to take. We don't want to take what we cannot do. Then we now need our also performance of the team is just almost like the capacity. How are we performing? We are supposed to be doing 30, but we have been doing 14, 14, 14. But all this will have been discussed at the retro anyway.
Maybe.
Yeah. So the next one is the daily scrum. So the daily scrum, we'll be talking about the daily scrum is a 24-hourly meeting, supposedly. So it is said that it is good for you to hold it in the same place at the same time, so that you have consistency. But daily scrum is held at the same place and place each day to reduce complexity. The developers use this. So I said developers plan work for the next is a meeting of developers. The developers use the daily scrum to inspect progress towards the sprint goal, and to inspect how progress is trending towards completing the work in the sprint backlog. Here's this thing. The Scrum Master and the product owners are not mandated to attend this meeting. They are not mandated. So even when they attend, they're supposed to be silent, but it's not always the case.
But let me ask them. Now, okay, so the developers, they will arrange the meeting themselves.
No, the Scrum Master will arrange the meeting. The Scrum Master will arrange the meeting. He will even start the meeting in some cases. In this thing, the Scrum Master will make sure that he will arrange the meeting, and then he will also get them to keep it to time box. They will not be the one to arrange the meeting. The Scrum Master that does that.
Yeah, because if they will arrange it themselves, that means there's going to be another leader among them who is going to tell them this is what we're going to do, see when we're meeting.
Yes. Okay, so we have then next one is the sprint review. So the sprint review is held at the end of the sprint to inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if need be. So we come to the sprint review. The sprint review is a meeting held between the development team or the Scrum team and the stakeholders to showcase what we have done, what we have delivered in this sprint. And we now take feedback. We now take during this sprint review, the Scrum team and the stakeholders collaborate about what was done in the sprint and then they also get feedback on what to do next. The result of the sprint review is a revised product backlog that defines the probable product backlog item for next sprint. The product backlog may also be adjusted overall to meet new opportunities. So we come into the sprint review. Oh, this is what we've done. This is what we've done. So do we have any comment? Do you have any this thing? Do you have so if the stakeholders, they will give their feedback, and then we now use that feedback to reshuffle our product backlog if need be. If not, we just carry on. So, and thereafter we go into our last meeting of this year.
Retrospective.
That's what we call the retro or retrospective. The sprint retrospective is an opportunity for the team to inspect itself. So this meeting is solely for the Scrum team. No stakeholder, no anything. And then everyone comes in as a peer team member. So at the meeting, everybody comes in as equal, and this, though it's supposed to be throughout the whole Scrum, this, but this is just an emphasis. The Scrum team plans to increase productivity, to increase product quality by improving work process or adapting the definition of done. So it's at this meeting that we can officially adapt our definition of done. So our definition of done, we need to do this, we need to do that. We can officially adapt it in this meeting, if appropriate and not in conflict with the product or organizational standard. So we make sure that our definition of done at all times is being refined as we go on, we become more stringent. So the definition of done will be like, maybe we need to add testing to this. We need to make sure that we have tested this to this level, and this is, so it becomes, as the team is evolving, the definition of done becomes more stringent, more complex. So at the end of the sprint retrospective, the Scrum team should have identified improvement that it will implement in the next sprint. So every retrospective should bring about what we call high-level improvement, which will be done in the next sprint. So is it to better our ways of communication? Is it to be more transparent? Is it so different things can come up during this perspective, which we now deal with in the next sprint. So, and this is a summary of what this Scrum meeting is all about. So we've not mentioned this because just not a structured meeting like that. And this one too is, I just don't worry about this. So we have sprint planning. So the product owner helps, the Scrum Master helps, but it is owned by developers. No, it is owned by the product owner. That is, it's owned by the product owner, and Scrum Master helps, and this, or what? Okay, let's agree with them. It is owned by the developers with the help of the product owner and Scrum Master.
And the Scrum Master.
Daily Scrum,
yeah,
it's
owned
by
them.
By them. Sprint review is owned by product owner and developers. Also, I want to believe the product owners here also owned by them. Then retro, just like we said, is owned by everyone. It's owned by everyone. And then
so there's no one owned by. Okay, aside from that retrospect, that is where the Scrum Master own anyone. The rest
Scrum Master does not own. It just helps all along. So it's involved in all, but no, it doesn't own anyone. Backlog requirement is owned by the product owner. It helps all along. And these are the timing or this is for the Scrum event. So the events, sprint planning, daily Scrum review, and retrospective. You know, we said a sprint can either be 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, or 1 week. So for a sprint of 4 weeks, you can be allowed a maximum hours of planning. So you can use a whole day to plan for your sprint if you are running a 4-week sprint. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then it goes down like that: 3 weeks, 6 hours, 2 weeks, 4 hours. But this is the most used one. 1 week, 2 hours of planning. Daily Scrum is 15 minutes, regardless of how long your sprint or what have you is. It's 15 minutes maximum, 15 minutes time box. Then we have review. Review is 4 hours for 4-week sprint, 3 hours for 3-week sprint, 2 hours for 2-week sprint, 1 hour for this. And retro can be 3 hours. Retro, I would have said they would have left it as 1 hour, 2 hours. Nobody will do retro for 3 hours, no matter how long this is. It's the same thing that you'll be doing. You don't need to. It's just this one. I'm sure next this thing they should just put it like. So it's a matter. No, no retro has lasted more than 1 hour that I've attended, but here they have this time, this thing for them. So that's I think that's where we're going to call it a stop today.
Tea break.
Is there any question?
It's becoming very interesting. It's becoming very interesting. I pray I'll keep understanding it subsequently.
Yeah, you're going to understand it more by the time you're going into.
Yeah, all these, sometimes I ask myself a question. Is it what the interviewers are going to be asking me? That's why sometimes I ask you this. Is it among? He said, not really. So if in your own view, because I know you must have had someone interviewed or you have interviewed someone directly or indirectly, the interviewers, are they looking at the practical experience or some of those the theory and explanation? What are they actually looking at? Sorry, I'm asking this question, please.
Of course, they're looking at how best fit are you for our team.
Yeah.
So depending on what they are looking for, so some are looking for the practical experience. Some want you to just show that, oh, you are the best fit for our team. You have the charisma, you have the what, but both, I would say they'll ask you scenario question. Tell me a time where you did this. So tell me a time. So by the time you're even answering the question, so what you are showing and stuff, you also form part of how they will access you.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much.